All right, everybody, welcome to the weekly Q&A. Hope everybody's doing well. If you guys are watching in the Facebook group, be sure to drop a hashtag live, hashtag replay, depending on when you're watching this. So I figured we'd go like every week and just go over some weekly questions and answer anything that everybody's going over or everything that everybody's currently struggling with. Wait for some people to jump on here. Answering some questions based on some feedback I've been getting a lot recently. So we'll just start going off and pulling these up and going through some of the questions. Hey, thanks for jumping on. I'm just doing the weekly coaching call, weekly Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. I'll start going over them. In the meantime, I will look up a list of questions that people have asked throughout the week. Okay. I got one. Do you have to promote digital products or like courses? This is a question I've been getting a lot recently, especially with things that are going on in the industry. I mean, it's not required to promote a course or a program. I promote courses because, I'm in the make money online space, and personally, online courses are what like changed my life. I worked in construction, minimum wage jobs prior to being in online entrepreneurship. So for me, there's a deeper why behind promoting courses than just a course. But as an affiliate, you're not restricted to promote that if you don't want to. But the caveat to that is, as a complete beginner, it is going to be more difficult to, generate that revenue in the front end of your business, because if you're not promoting at least a digital product, it doesn't necessarily have to be a course, like a high ticket digital product. You're going to have to make more sales. You're going to have to need a larger audience to have success. Because, those products that you're selling are usually going to pay lower commissions. So they're going to pay less. So as a complete beginner, you need a bigger audience, which is intimidating for a lot of people. Telling someone that they need to make, 500 sales a month versus 10 or 15 sales a month. It's just a lot more. It's easier to achieve for someone with no experience if you're promoting, a more expensive digital product. I want to build an email list. I don't have a YouTube channel yet. I want to build an email list. I don't have a YouTube channel. Do you have any suggestions? So a very powerful strategy to build your email list very effectively and quickly right now is leveraging TikTok. You get extreme exposure on TikTok. You can get growth on there quickly. In comparison to any other platform, you are going to see exposure on TikTok a lot faster versus like traditional methods like YouTube, blogging, or even Facebook. You can see results from Facebook extremely quick as well, but TikTok's going to be, you can get dozens, if not hundreds of leads a day if you get good at creating content, of course. But you would need a couple of things in place, such as a landing page where you can collect the contact information, and then your email follow-up sequence. I use ClickFunnels. That's what I usually recommend. And I use ActiveCampaign for my email marketing. But that's a very effective strategy right now to build your email list extremely quick, because, even if you have a video on TikTok that doesn't do well, like a mediocre piece of content on TikTok, you can usually get, 100 or 200 views. And in comparison to putting out a piece of content on YouTube, if you're a new channel and you're not optimizing your content correctly, you could maybe get 5 or 6 views on that video. So it's definitely a very effective strategy for people who are just starting. So someone just asked me, I'm in Barbados. Can I do this from anywhere in the world? Yes, affiliate marketing is available worldwide. There is restrictions depending on specific companies. Certain companies have more restrictive, entries, or you can't be an affiliate for specific programs, but it is available worldwide. Everybody can do it. You would just have to do a little bit of research as far as if the companies allow you to sign up, depending on like your specific location. The reason why they usually don't allow certain places is usually credit card processing or payment processing. So there's a couple countries that are like pretty standard, like North Korea, a couple places in China, and like Egypt are usually pretty hard when it comes to getting into, affiliate programs or even getting paid out by affiliate programs. But you should be able to have no problem in Barbados. You are watching on TikTok. If you want to learn more, there is a free course inside my bio where it's like 36 different videos step by step, teaches you the whole process. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them, because we're doing I do a weekly Q&A. So answer any questions that anybody might be having. And for some reason, my camera just got like really yellow, but so let me see. Thanks, I registered. Awesome. Yeah, so if you're just starting, so I'll just piggyback off of that question a little bit. If you're just starting, I would recommend going with like high ticket business model, which is like promoting more expensive products, because it's going to make reaching your income goals a lot easier. You're going to need a smaller amount of people to make significant amounts of money. That's the difference between promoting a, $20 product or a $50 product that pays you $10 versus promoting a, $1,000 product that pays you $500. It can just be a lot easier for, beginners to make their full-time income or replace their day job. And it's actually not any harder to sell more expensive products. It's just a different audience. Usually the people that are buying the low ticket products are not the same people who are buying the high ticket products. So that's a big mistake I see a lot of people making. And I made myself included, is trying to promote more expensive products to the same type of audience that would buy those cheap products. I need to schedule my coaching call with you. Yeah, I can send you another Calendly link. You can definitely, and whenever you're free, we can jump on a strategy session. So where do you find your Facebook leads? So if you're talking about like organic Facebook marketing, and like where do you actually find, leads or buyers, or, in a sense, if you've heard me talk about organic Facebook marketing, that's one of my favorite strategies. So where do you actually find them? There's a couple different places. You can go into other groups, private Facebook groups that are related to the niche or the industry that you're in. You have to get creative with it, because if you're like promoting a specific product, you can't go into that group and build your audience, because you're promoting that product. You don't have any product to provide to them, because likely they've already bought it. Secondly, a couple tips and tricks when you go into, or I guess I'll backtrack, when you are, look for buyers groups. So look for groups that are layered behind paid products. You've probably maybe you've already purchased products in the past, and they provided Facebook groups. Those are great places to look, because people who have already invested in their business before are likely to invest again. And there's a couple different routes you can go about it. You can, add people from the members section, which I would recommend doing, but be kind of, what's the wording? Sorry. Don't like do this too much. Don't like just go in there and spam add a bunch of people. You really want quality over quantity. And then Secondly, you can go into your target groups and actually put out content, post content, respond to questions, actually engage with others in these groups, with the goal of establishing omnipresence, because you want everybody to start seeing your Facebook profile. You want them to see your picture, and subconsciously they're going to start seeing you as an authority. So the reason that this is going to work very well is after you've been in a group and you're answering their questions, you're interacting with them. If you add them as a friend, they're very likely to not only accept, but if you engage in a messenger conversation, you can continue a conversation in Messenger, and that's going to kickstart Facebook's algorithms, and they're going to start seeing your posts. So that's just a couple tips when it comes to groups. I don't want to give you specific group names, because if I do that, a lot of people will go out and they'll bombard, specific groups. And, that's a big thing, is some people kind of do it incorrectly, and they go in there and they poach, new members and stuff like that. When it comes to adding friends from like members area, I would usually recommend going with the people who've been in the group longer. So not really somebody who's just joined the group. And a reason for that is when someone jumps into a Facebook group or they're in a new strategy, they're fired up. They're really involved or interested in what they're doing. And that's going to put a lot of people off, and so don't necessarily add the people that are just jumping into Facebook groups, because you could get reported, and then it's kind of frowned upon in other Facebook groups if you're like poaching. So you actually have to kind of prioritize adding value, and it can kind of be a long-term play. If you're in there posting content, you're responding to comments, naturally you're going to establish omnipresence, and position yourself as an authority in the space. So eventually when people start adding you and then they start interacting with you, you got to prioritize actually building that relationship versus just adding as many people as you can. So I know I totally rambled on about the Facebook friends, but hopefully that helps and gives you some tips and tricks when it comes to how to actually find buyers on Facebook. And then you don't have to, like, if you're in the make money online space, you don't necessarily have to do, it doesn't have to be specifically affiliate marketing groups. You can go out to, depending on the product that you're promoting or whatever your, whatever types of problems your product solves, you can go out and, you can go into different, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a sec. You can go into other groups and, if your product solves a relevant problem, you can still go out into less niche specific groups. So good morning, Nate. How does Facebook allow you to select targeted groups when submitting ads, or is it a broad range submission? So that's a great question. Good morning, by the way. So when it comes to Facebook ads, you can get pretty crazy with the targeting. Not that I'm a very big advocate on starting with paid ads, but you can target a lot of things, usually pages, like Facebook pages. If people are in, relevant pages to whatever you're promoting. If you are going to do any type of paid ads, especially on Facebook, I would highly recommend really only doing retargeting ads, which is basically going to be, you'll have to get a couple pieces of things in place, like pixels, which is going to allow you to track all your visitors and everything like that. And then you're going to retarget them on Facebook. It's kind of like if you've been to, Amazon or any website and you're like looking at a product, and then you go to Facebook and you see that exact same product. That's what retargeting is. And if you're going to embark on Facebook ads journey, that's what I would recommend doing, just because it's extremely expensive for cold audiences. Anyways, it's actually really expensive to convert cold audiences with Facebook ads. But you can select targeted groups. You can do pages. It's it's crazy the amount of data that Facebook collects. So there is so many different little strategies you can use. Say, for example, if you had your own Facebook group and you were putting out posts as a page, you can literally retarget everybody who interacted with that post or anybody who's seen your content. But if you are doing Facebook ads, you do need to have a business page, and you'll have to start putting out content on your business page. And then targeting is going to be key, but getting data from like somewhere else. So if I was going to do Facebook ads right now, which I don't really do any paid ads anymore. I used to a lot. I actually used to run Facebook ads for chiropractic clinics and business owners. That's where I started a few years ago. But if I was going to do it over again, what I would do right now would be pixeling, getting a sales funnel set up and getting my digital assets in place. And then I would install it's a piece of code called a Facebook Pixel, and then get that on my funnel. And then I would start driving traffic to that funnel from like TikTok or Facebook, however you wanted to do it. But you're going to need a big volume. So you'd be better off probably doing like TikTok to get eyeballs on that funnel. And then I would start retargeting everybody who came to my funnel. I would start retargeting every single visitor on Facebook because it's cheap. Retargeting ads are cheap, and they're usually higher converting because those people already know you. They're aware of your brand. They're aware of your brand. They've already seen your content, stuff like that. So I know I totally rambled about that, but that would just be some tips for, if you were going to do Facebook ads, but I necessarily wouldn't start there, to be honest. It's definitely doable to, have a ton of success with organic traffic, especially if you're doing like high ticket model or like value ladder products. You can make a significant amount of money with free organic traffic. And then obviously when you get to a certain point, you can use advertising to scale. And then the reason why I'm a big advocate on this is because if you usually start with like organic traffic strategies, you learn marketing and sales, you dial those skills in, you can then apply them to paid advertising. So like for me, the biggest mistake I made when I was running paid ads is, I took a couple courses on paid ads. I thought I had it dialed in. And then I started running paid advertisements for local businesses. And then I couldn't actually deliver the results that I was promising. And it's not that I had ill intention or anything like that. It's just, there's so many aspects to paid advertising that I didn't really understand at that point yet. Or like even just the little things like how to write compelling copy, or, just little minor tweaks that, come over time as you've been marketing and you've been, in the space. So what types of content should you post in other groups? So this is a great question. If you're leveraging organic Facebook, like I'm a big advocate on, you have to be it's kind of tricky. You can't go into like Facebook groups and, do a screenshot of your income. You can't go in there and, like do like a lead gen post. You can't go in there and be like, hey, I just did a done for you 7-step guide to having your first $1,000 commission with affiliate marketing. You can't go into other groups and do that. That's gonna like, depending on the group. And if the group will allow you to do that, you don't want to be in that group because it's usually probably just a bunch of spam. So what you can do when you're in groups to make posts is you can do, belief shifting content. So you can write posts that are telling your story, challenges you've overcome, false expectations, or things that have actually happened to you. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to tell your story, but it's going to let other people feel connected to you. It's going to let others, if you're talking about like, hey, I spent $1,000 on, paid ads and I didn't have any success. and then I found something different, and then telling like how you transitioned into something else. That's going to make people feel like, okay, he understands me or she understands me. They know where I'm at. And then you can also do question posts, which are like really quick, easy, motivational posts, quotes, types, things. You don't necessarily want to overuse those because they're, you can do them. What I would recommend is not going into, I've been seeing this a lot, especially on Facebook, is a couple of people will go into like 5 or 6 different groups and they'll post the exact same question. I wouldn't recommend doing that because it kind of just looks lazy. And then you can do value posts, so educational posts talking about, different resources that you've acquired or learned, writing out a Facebook post that talks about, 3 steps to making your first high ticket commission. But the biggest thing is making sure you don't have a call to action at the end of that post. So if you're posting in someone else's group, you can't say, hey, comment below and I'll send you an affiliate link. The mindset has to be, I'm establishing omnipresence. I'm actually just going to provide value. So that's the mindset you have to go into when you're posting in other people's groups. At least for me, that's what I'm a big advocate on. I'm not like huge on going in and poaching other people's groups. I genuinely always recommend providing actual value. And if a relationship, ensues from that content you're putting out, it's a win-win because the person who's been consuming your content feels like they're connected to you, and the group owner is going to see you as someone who's actually providing value. So someone asked on TikTok, what are some resources that help you most with writing compelling copy? So I have a bunch of copywriting books, actually. I read quite a bit, so that's a big one, is reading and focusing. I read a lot of sales books and copy, but a couple minor things that you can do when it comes to writing compelling copy is actually knowing, taking a deeper dive and looking a little bit into like what the psychology behind why someone's actually going to be buying. What's actually going to make them buy? What problem is your product actually going to solve? So say, for example, if you were promoting a make money online opportunity, instead of saying something like, I'm going to teach you how to make money online, the pain behind that is usually, the person is tired of missing out on time with family, or, they want more freedom. They're not getting paid enough. So shifting it from, instead of, I'm going to show you how to make money online, it would be something like, I'm going to show you how to leave your dead end job. I'm going to show you how to, build a life of freedom. So going a little bit deeper is usually a number, like trying to be going a layer deeper. Or simply paste your link on your profile when running ads on a business page. I'm not sure what you mean. Good morning. Let me see. Oh yeah, we were talking about Facebook ads and stuff like that for a minute. Oh yeah. So yeah, Facebook ad account. Yeah. So another thing about Facebook ads, they're extremely picky. So they're notorious for banning your ad accounts. So you will get shut down at one point. There's not a question of if, it's a when. So if you do Facebook ads, you need to create as many ad accounts as you can. I think you're allowed to create 10 or 11 inside one business manager account. So if you do create a business manager account, you need to create as many as you can, because you will get shut down. It's not a matter of when. Even really successful high-level entrepreneurs who are like ads experts actually get their account shut down. Facebook's very finicky.
But as I was mentioning, another thing about that is if you're doing retargeting ads, they can be a little bit less strict because in their eyes, you own the data. That's your data already. But you do have to be very careful with Facebook ads. Google ads are a little bit more lenient, or you could even do something like Bing ads. But if you're just starting, I usually don't recommend any type of paid advertising because that's where I started, and I virtually spent a ton of money trying to have success and pouring money into systems that I didn't necessarily understand. And I would have been better off investing that money into something that would have helped me learn, organic marketing skills or like sales. Do not link your card to them though, or separate cards. Yeah, so there's a couple tips and tricks you could go with when it comes to avoid getting shut down. Yeah, and then let me see. Sounds like I need to look at a combination of organic traffic, TikTok, and YouTube too. Yeah, so definitely, I'm a huge advocate on organic traffic. If you're just starting, I would recommend sticking with one or two. If you have the time, do two. But right now, probably your best bet is usually TikTok can yield results fairly quickly. And then utilizing the virality of TikTok to grow your other platforms. So if you have like a sales funnel or a landing page that has a link to your Facebook group or something like that, that's a great strategy. My personal favorite is always going to be, or has been so far, over the years of my experience and blogging for an extremely long time. I have a YouTube channel with hundreds of videos. My favorite is definitely Facebook. And that's just because you can be very proactive. You can, it's not like where you're on TikTok or you're on a blog or something like that, where you kind of put out a piece of content and you wait for algorithms to rank you. On Facebook, you be very proactive. So if you want to go out, you want to make sales, you want to, move the needle in your business, that's on your terms. You can go out and build your network of people. You can network with people. You can engage with them in a messenger conversation, versus like, when I was blogging, I would write a blog post and I would kind of just sit and wait, and then like hope that traffic was going to start rolling in, that I was going to start getting sales. And when you do a strategy like Facebook, if you want to go make sales, you can go out and make sales. You can be proactive. You can go out and do that. It's not like, you're waiting really. If done correctly, you can start to see results pretty almost instantaneous. If you're doing everything, of course, because there's a couple components to it. But if you're putting out content, you're building your friends list and stuff like that, you can see results extremely fast. Because you're going to, the way that I would recommend doing it is putting out lead gen content, which are going to extrapolate people from your friends list into a buying conversation or into an actual opportunity. And if you do this correctly, you'll literally have people asking you like, I need help. Do you have an affiliate link? Can I get access? And all sorts of things like that. Yeah, babe. All right, hold on. I'll be right back in 1 second. Okay, come on. Come on, baby. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry. So yeah, let's see. Thanks for all the insight, my man. Appreciate all the content. Yeah. Thanks. Hey, thanks for the feedback. How is the Traffic Secrets book? I'm looking into getting it. The trilogy. So Russell Brunson's trilogy is great. All three of the books, and if I can reach it, and Jim Edwards' book are all great reads. You kind of have to read all three of them if you're reading Russell Brunson's book, the .com Secrets series, because they kind of work in unison. The first book's all about building out your sales funnels and things like that, and like how the processes work, and crafting like offers and order bumps and stuff like that. And then Expert Secrets is all about establishing yourself as an authority, building a mass movement of people who follow you, are interested in your products or programs. And then number 3 is all about different traffic strategies, which is, usually the bottleneck for most business owners or affiliate marketers in general. That's where most struggle, is getting traffic and actually conversions. That's a deeper symptom of traffic, is, actually converting those leads. But it's definitely a great read. They do have them on Audible, or you can get the physical books as well. I definitely would recommend them. So let me see if we have. So let's see. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll stay on as long as everybody has questions. So should I start with Traffic Secrets first, or is the best others to start with? I would start with, it depends. So like if you already have like a big understanding of how sales funnels work and stuff like that, I would recommend starting with, if you already have a funnel in place and stuff like that, and you're already like having a little bit of success, you could definitely start with Traffic Secrets if you wanted, or even Expert Secrets. But if you can, I would just get all three. I definitely would just read them in, .com Secrets, Expert Secrets to Traffic Secrets. Read all three of them in that order, usually, because they kind of all tie together. In the books, they actually mention they mention each other, in the other books. So like they'll piggyback onto each other and kind of tie in different strategies. So sometimes it can be hard to understand what they're talking about. And I actually, a couple times they will refer to, the other book, and then they'll like actually recommend going and purchasing that book inside of the other book. So it's kind of like, if you look at it as a big picture, it's kind of like their sales funnel. They're recommending you to get the books inside of the other books. You can get the box set. So like, I think there's actually a box set. If you order Traffic Secrets, all you have to do is pay shipping. And then I think they also offer a additional bonus book as well. Let me see. So yeah, if we don't have any more questions, I will start wrapping up this live. If you guys ever do have any questions, don't hesitate to, drop them in the group. If you're watching this in the Facebook group, you can always make a post, ask a question, I'll respond to it. And then I do also do the weekly Q&A every week at Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I do that every week, you know, and at this point, I don't know, probably indefinitely. So I try to get everybody's questions answered, you know, help everybody break through whatever they're struggling with. So yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I will wrap up the live, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week.